Dhyanamoolam Gurumurti Pujamudam Guru Param Mantramulam Guru Vakyam Mokshamulam Guru Kripa Om Shri Guruve Namaha. Hari Om. I feel so happy that for quite a while we have been asking questions and we have been studying what could be the possible answers to those questions, maybe. Today I'm going to read 3-4 questions, and after that we'll have just 2 minutes of silence, and each one of us will contemplate, and if you had to answer those questions, what would you say? You can talk later. I will put out my own view and then we'll proceed. So let me take you to those questions. I hope you can read it. Let's read together. There are many thoughts and dreams one would not want to think or dream about. Howsoever one tells the mind for how so long the mind still thinks about them. Is there any yogic solution to completely eradicate those thoughts, or one must accept it and be at peace with it? And the last question, how to improve concentration and focus at the task you have taken at hand? All right. We'll observe a minute or 2 of silence, and I keep it on the screen so you can read it and think about it, that if you were to answer, what would you answer, or how would you answer? All right, Hari Om. First of all, understand that which are the thoughts and the dream that we do not want. Those are the thoughts and the dream that in our mind we have created disliking for it. And equally so, somebody may be liking those thoughts. And how often we have discussed that there is nothing wrong and there's nothing right. If certain thing is fitting your framework of requirement, At that time, you say, oh, well, I'm glad. Let that even thought come, even in my dream, because you like that. And right after some time, if your requirement, your evolution changes, and you find out that there is something wrong or they are not right, at that time you wish you never had that. So it is the same situation, same thoughts, and sometimes same dream, but certain thing you like, certain thing you don't like. So liking and disliking depends upon your situation, your desires. But truly speaking, there is nothing wrong and there's nothing right. Who decides this? What is wrong and what is right? It is the standard that we have developed, certain idealization. And it may be your own or it may be that decided by the society. So far as you are pleasing to please the society, you will never have your own life, ever. Thereby, I'm not saying that you go totally away from it, but have your own judgment to think in decision making that what is wrong and what is right and why you think so. Truly speaking, there's nothing wrong and nothing right. Certain type of food that you may like, others may not like. So what you like, you may say it's a good food. And the same other people do not like, so they say it's a bad food. Standards may be different. And here too, I'm not saying anything is good and anything is bad. But say you're a vegetarian. So the other friend of yours who says where he's going to get the protein from, so he's not eating well. And you think that those who are non-veg, they are not eating good because the food has a tremendous impact on your mind, on your well-being. I am also not getting into whether it has effect or not, but each one of us have logic. One person may decide that walking bare feet on the ground is good. And the other person say, I would never walk on the bare ground because you never know how many people are walking their dogs and others. So they think that those who are walking are bad people or they don't know what they will be acquiring. And the same way, those who have studied so-called scientific background, and they think that it's the earthing that they create and it comes in contact with the mother nature and whatnot. You will find tens of logical reasoning. So it is the reasoning with which you justify and with which you call certain thing good and certain thing bad. But there is nothing wrong and there is nothing right. It is our logical mind that argues it. If you decide that certain thing you do not want to do, don't do simply. And try it out. Experiment on yourself. Be open to decide. And certain food you may like today, tomorrow you may not like. Your work environment may change. Your mental attitude may change. Your social responsibility may change. And as a result, the food may be the same, but it may be behaving differently because your mental state is different. Your body status is different. So you cannot hold on to certain things. So to say, dear friend, answering to the first question, how to get rid of it, rather than getting rid of it, have your own judgment, what is called viveka buddhi. And at this stage in the game, you do not like it. It never means that those who like are bad people. And they may never change, or you may never change. Acceptance is the key. You live the life and let the other person live the life. And whatever that comes along, accept it with a judgment at that particular point and study how it behaves on your body and act accordingly. So, and the other thing, person is asking, are there any yogic ways? Yes. Yogic way, whole life is yoga. If you decide energizing your Vishuddhi chakra and you genuinely feel is that food at that time, the way it comes, is it suitable to you? How your mind is thinking, how your body is behaving. Are you burping? Are you yawning? Are you foul smelling? Or do you feel heavy at head? Certain things are no good. It doesn't suit you. And you decide. And you do not, for heaven's sake, emphasize on your spouse or your children or the family member. At the same time, be cooperative also. So to say, there's no yogic way. The whole yogic way is have your own judgment with reverence. Also, agree to disagree, because you will be disagreeing with your own self after some time, or even after 5 minutes. So, others will also have. You are human, they are human too. You have certain things, you have developed this kind of intellectual thinking. So, some point in time, they will develop, so you don't do this. So, permanently get rid of it? No. You can. If certain thing you don't like, and just leave it. That's all right. Then don't go back on it and keep thinking, oh, I should not have done that. No, at that time, that's what you felt and that's what you did. Now coming to the last question. How to focus on oneself? Any work at home or work at hand that you take, truly one has to ask, is it your genuine question? If it is your genuine question, and we have learned throughout the dharana, the contemplation or meditation, whatever you call it, we have our mind weavers, vikshepa all the time. And vikshepa is nothing but dealing with a couple of things at a time. If you genuinely care for focus, then why do you do the other thing with it simultaneously? If you are right now listening to this half hour, that's fine. If you feel like listening 15 minutes, that's fine. But 15 minutes while listening, you look at your phone, or you look at the TV, or you talk to somebody else. And for me not to feel bad, you may hide your video. It does not hurt me a bit. I'm just contemplating on my own. But when you do two things or more number of things at a time, naturally your concentration will be disturbed. So one has to decide, if you have 2-3 works at hand, decide the priority which you want to do. And sometimes certain work will not be done. So you tell yourself there is always tomorrow. And proceed. Do not develop any stress for that reason. And focusing on any office work or the domestic work or whatever other work, suppose you take something that you like, which you choose and you love to listen to, or love to do certain things. So at that time, you know that you are not going to entertain the other thing. And I can take some simple example. Those of you who are interested in watching games, when the game comes, I have seen a lot of people holding even a cup of coffee and just in the hand. And they're holding it for half an hour. Why? Because your mind is so much into the game. They are absorbed into the game. That doesn't mean that they are not interested in the coffee. But at that stage, the focus was on it. I was on a railway station and I remember one of our professors, he was sitting on a bench on a platform and he had lighted a cigarette and he was holding the cigarette in this manner and he was absorbed in some thoughts. I was just studying him from a far corner. I even let go my 2-3 train because I was studying him. He also, his train, 2-3 train went, and even the entire cigarette got consumed in burning. He did not have a single puff. And when it got to the point of his finger burning, and when the heat sensation happened, then he realized, he says, wow. So at that time, he must have been absorbed in some thought. So that the lighted cigarette, he lighted for some reason, he didn't even attend to it. And there are people, this was an example of a cigarette smoking, but I had heard the intense desire that I want this and this alone. This is the dialogue between a guru and disciple. Disciple came to the guru and said, sir, please guide me. And the guru said, I can guide you only on one condition. Don't ask the question why and how. And accepted. So So then Guru gives him a perforated vessel, you can call it a sieve, and he says, go and fetch me water. And any common person will think that perforated vessel, and he's asking you to bring the water. Is there any sense? How stupid. But Guru had asked, do not question. Any one of us, particularly a person like me, if somebody would ask me to do this, I think, how stupid. Why even waste time hanging around with it? But that man had decided, I will not ask questions. And when this such a revered person is asking me to bring water in a seed for the perforated vessel, that must be a way out. But at this stage, being a logical mind, I cannot think of. But then I said, look, then he said, let me close my eyes and be at his footstep. Visualize him and earnestly, cryingly request him, it's only you, my Guru, who can guide me how to bring water in a perforated vessel. This is just an example. This is like saying, Vikshepi mind wanders everywhere, and asking a guru how to calm it down. Similar example. And that the fellow went into a deeper state of meditation, and he's sitting on the ground, not for an hour, not for a day, not for a month, once together. No food, no natural cause, it's just there. Weather changes from cold to hot and rain and snow and whatnot. It got to a point of snow, and he was buried in 2 feet of snow. And some point in time, with the grace of the Guru, he came to the senses and realized, yes, here is the answer. And he takes that perforated vessels with snow to his Guru. Guru knows that he got the answer. And Guru didn't say anything. He hugs him, and both of them are dancing. So without answering the question got answered. Do we have that intense desire that I want to learn focus? I want to learn dharana. And if that is the one, ask ourselves, how long and what did we do for these many years? And still, what are we doing? So anything to have focus and concentration. Try to see. Concentration will be a byproduct, provided you know what disturbs the concentration. That you don't do as simple and you are done. It is not that you do 2 and 3 jobs, but reduce your expenses to balance your balance sheet, income and expenses. But if you keep on increasing your expenses on one side, and then you say, oh my God, my life is so miserable, so hard. I have no choice but to do the second job, and I have to put my wife to work and blah, blah, blah. I had, as a matter of fact, one lady calling me this afternoon, and she had a palatial home on the East Coast. And she is so miserable. She got my number to somebody and she said, well, I want to focus and I want to start earning. And I said, earning for what? Why? Oh, for security. And a security for what? And anyhow, cut the corner short on this matter. Concentration, very easily you can develop. Become aware of your sincerity and become aware of what distracts you from your focus or what distracts you from your concentration. Okay. Those of you who have answer, you want to discuss, you do not have to. And one thing I humbly request, please do not give me any theoretical explanation. What you can do or what would you like to do? That's it. All right, let me begin with Naina Shah. If you don't have, don't worry. Otherwise, unmute and proceed. We have limited time. I'm not trying to extend beyond certain time.
I did understand what you explained, but I want to understand the question. Like the question was, you keep thinking of unpleasant thing, like death or somebody's sickness of your family or something, and you are worrying about that, and you keep thinking about that, and that if you think long time or very often, you do dream about it. So how do you prevent that? That is what the question, I think.
You already answered it. If you think too long time, instead, if you just realize it's part of the life, attend some nice satsang, learn and contemplate, that's all.
So stop thinking about those things, right?
Yeah,
And go in the right direction.
exactly. Do not expect somebody else to, as soon as that thought comes, tell yourself, I do not want to be miserable. That's all. And stop. That
Thank you.
nobody else can help you, meaning nobody else would know that you are thinking this and you are feeling unhappy. All right. Shaili. Unmute. All right. Maheen. Unmute and talk.
I've lost my voice. I can't talk.
That is a good thing that happens.
Yeah, I'm sure you're happy about it.
Of course. I'm happy. I'm happy for you not speaking. No, I'm happy that you will get more time to contemplate.
I have. Thank you.
Sure. Mukesh.
Hariom, Sanaji.
Hariom. Chris.
Hariom, Sanaji.
All right. Sunita. I'm seeing you after so many years.
Oh, sorry. I usually catch up on YouTube.
Oh,
but
anyhow.
Thank you. I joined late. I did not realize it was 8 to 8:30.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right. Gemini Ben. Hello.
The question means maybe just my thought about the negative thoughts when you have a negative thoughts, how to manage it or how to avoid. See, we cannot avoid the negative thoughts, but in current situation right now, there is any death or any sickness in the family or something happen. You just think for a moment that can you make it better? If you can able to change it, change it. If you cannot, then it's not in your control. You can't change the situation or the whatever it's happened. You just let it go.
That is a very good thought too. All right, Jamini, good point. Jayashree,
Swamiji.
Hariom, Vijay, Hariom, Shekarai.
Namaskar, Bhai. What I would say that on a thought, what you want to entertain, what you do not want to entertain, it is just as you explained, that it depends on your mental faculty at that given moment. And there you have choice what to entertain, what not to entertain. But dream-wise, and a dream when you're asleep state, I think you have no control, and even scary dreams or likable dreams, and if it's very short life, so may not be there. So I would say it is nice to put more time on your thought process, other than much worried about dream aspect of it. Because dream, as thoughts, you have some way to focus on, to direct your awareness and make sure you are within your so-called profound state of being, and build on the experience that some thought came in, was not so good, and you see whether you entertain the thoughts or you let the thoughts go and build upon this. So I would use that experience to when and where and how I got disturbed, or my expenses went up, or how do I keep my balance. So it is a continuous process to build upon those soothing moments. How did you behave at that particular time?
And after all those golden sentences, the one that we had studied long time back, my inner peace is non-negotiable.
That's very true.
So anyhow, proceed on it, and life is a journey. We all will have certain time, no matter what we do, but it's a continuously learning and implementing. But silence, silence, and silence. Contemplation, contemplation, contemplation. With this, dear friends,
I will bring the water on a perforated vessel. What a sadhana.
that's right.
Yeah, the answer was revealed to him by his dedication. That's all.
Hari Om.
Hari Om Bhai.